Good job, Dobson family. That was awesome. First of all, I'd like to say good evening, Dobson family and friends, Hicks family and friends, and Barry Flanagan. I'm just kidding, Barry. Don't headbutt me on the dance floor. Welcome to the part of the night that Alex did not plan. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming. Especially those of you that knew I was going to be saying a few words tonight. It's especially flattering that you guys still decided to come. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jordan, or I go by Jordo. You guys can also call me by my full name. Jordo, would you like a drink? I really prefer you use my full name at the bar. I'm standing up here tonight representing the category for Best Man. Although Jake has called me many things over the years, but that. It's an honor to be up here tonight on the biggest day of his life. Now, before I begin, I want to say sorry in advance. I really suck at memorizing. I also had a really hard time deciding on the length of the speech. At one moment, it ran to about 40 minutes. So I cut it back to about 5. Then I felt like there was way too many important things being left out, so I came to a compromise. I'm going to do the 5-minute speech first, and then I'm going to go directly into the 40-minute speech. You guys can let me know which one I should have chose afterwards. That's enough about me, though. It's time to talk about the guy of the next 45 minutes. Are you ready, buddy? This is the 3rd time today Jake's been sitting down sweaty. The other 2 times he's been holding toilet paper. It's true. I'm gonna take you guys on a little journey through the time that I've known this guy. It gets crazy, so sit down. I met Jake nearly 18 years ago. That was long before what we knew what a mullet was, and that it wouldn't be a good look for either of us. Although at this point, I would take about any hairdo. The first time I ever met Jake was at hockey tryouts in Moortown at the arena. He was that chubby little kid on the ice, wearing tape balls around both of his ankles for support, and what we like to call a toaster bucket as a helmet. At that age, Jake was the only kid in the group that would sweat. I remember leaving the arena that day saying to my dad, "Did you see that chubby little Mexican kid with the mustache? He was so sweaty. For our group, showering wasn't really a thing yet at that age because nobody else really sweat. So when you had to ride with the Hicks boys, either to practice or for games, you were gasping for air with the windows down on the way home. Jake also stuck out from the crowd a little bit more because he had to wear ladies' storm pants instead of the men's because his ass was way too big. Aside from hockey, Jake and I just grew up right around the corner from each other. So he was always really more of a convenient friend than anything. The fact that he had a pool and a volleyball court in his backyard really didn't hurt the friendship either. Jake would invite me over to all these crazy dangerous games. I don't know who came up with them, but one of them was just wearing a sleeping bag over top of your head in the dark. And everybody just runs full speed into each other. I'm not sure if it was called slug wars. What was it?
Blanket wars.
Another one being just jump on the trampoline and the other people on the ground just throw whatever type of sporting ball at you until they hit you. I don't really know what the outcome of it was, but you just get hurt. My personal favorite was lighting the potato gun off at one end of a field. The other person stands at the other end of the field wearing full goalie gear, trying to catch this thing. It was mayhem over there, and I'm surprised I came out alive some days. Fast forward a few years to our early teenage years, where those backyard games escalated quite a bit. From throwing fart bombs in people's windows when they were down and in the store, to lighting bags of shit on fire on people's porches. We thought we were hilarious.
Don't tell people that. Sorry, Dad.
Jake one time thought he could prank me pretty good. He had a full recycle bin full of V8 cans. Not sure why he was collecting them. Coming out the back end, it probably sucked. But he accumulated these, and he decided to put them all over my front lawn the night before I had to work in the morning. Little did he know I didn't have to work the next morning. My dad did. So I had no idea this happened. My dad gets up and finds all these V8 cans hanging from the trees and in the gardens. Yeah, he was mad. Jake texted me later that day hinting towards the little joke he decided to play on me. I had no idea. My dad comes home. For those of you that don't know my dad, he's a little bit of a hothead sometimes. He was mad. He blew a gasket. And then I clued in. Oh, it was Jake. I never told him it was Jake. I think to this day he still dreams of finding out who it was. High school was when Jake and I really became best friends. We did everything together. From getting lost in Chatham on our way to Kingsville for hockey, to almost fighting Nick Harris at the gym, For those of you guys that don't know Nick Harris, he's got the fastest puck drop in southwestern Ontario. To doing bicep curls before parties, almost failing a few classes together, and putting mascara in our mustaches before graduation pictures to make them darker. We even had a brief stint at the Corunna Tim Hortons together. They hated us. Although I think they hated Jake a little more. I think he was the only person to ever call in sweaty. I remember we were out the night before. I made it to work on time. The phone rings. Jake's talking to the supervisor, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I'm way too sweaty to come in today." The supervisor goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm sweaty." He goes, "Take a shower, man. Just come to work." Jake goes, "No, I'm way too sweaty. I'm not coming today." Supervisor gets off the phone, tells me that. I go, "What? You let him get away with that? Tell him to take a shower." I hope he doesn't use that nowadays. Sorry, my fingers are sticky. A little sweaty. I'm not calling in though. High school was also when Jake started acquiring nicknames at an alarming rate. They started off normal. Hicksy, Hicksmeister, Hicksy Sticks. Then they started getting a little worse. Chub Nuts, Brock the Doc Lesnar, Shitsy, Pork Truck, Dumpsy. My personal favorite, Chick Hicks. I'll tell you a little story about one that I think fits him best. That one's Shitsy. So this one time, we were heading over to this girl's house for a little hangout / swim, probably like grade 9 maybe. So we get there, and Jake, another buddy of ours, and I are in the pool. Girls are on the patio talking, whatever. Jake goes, "Psst." He goes, "Will you look behind me?" He goes, I think I just shit myself." So I turn around, sure enough. Yeah, it was a wet one. We had only been there for 15 minutes. He was wearing a white bathing suit. Brown spot plastered across the back. We're in the pool and I'm standing there with him. He goes, "Yeah, we gotta go." As he starts shimmying across the yard. Didn't tell the girls what happened. So we get out of there and he runs across Corunna with these white pants on with the brown stain on the back for dinner. Deb wasn't even home. There was no dinner. After high school till now, I don't even know where to start. I could stand up here all night and keep ripping off stories like that about Jake. But instead, I'm going to give you a couple headlines of some good ones. And you guys can imagine what happened yourselves. Or you might drink enough after listening to this. He might even tell you at the bar after. Jake ditches underwear at frozen yogurt store. Jake shaves off eyebrow trying to do eyebrow unibrow maintenance. Jake has barbecue pushed on top of him. Jake breaks girl's leg at bar. And probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen, Jake almost fights black old lady at Buffalo Wild Wings. Minus the stories to fill the rest of that time, Jake and I have done everything from sporting events to concerts, camping, vacations, and screaming rock and roll lyrics in each other's faces while chugging beers. We've done a lot of dumb stuff together, but I don't regret any of it. 18 years ago, although my liver swears it's been 50, I met the best friend anybody could ever ask for. Jake is intelligent, witty, charismatic, and I'm not going to say whoops, wrong speech like the templates say they do. You should. Because he really is all those things. Notice how I didn't say handsome, though. Jake and I have been through thick and thin together. He's been there for me for all the good times and all the bad times. I consider him as a brother, and I've always looked up to him. Always pushing myself to be as successful as he's been. But to be called a best man today is kind of a paradox. For today can only belong to one best man, and that's you, Jake. You have attained the greatest gift a man can wish for. And that's the love of a woman as beautiful and caring as Alex. Alex, you look stunning today. Jake really swelled with pride when he saw you walking down the aisle in that dress. And that was nice for a change to see him swelling over something other than beers and chicken wings. I've known Alex since high school, or as I like to call her, Dobby. So you guys can imagine I probably have enough stories to fill the rest of the night about her as I do Jake. But my main target tonight is Jake. And I'm way too frightened as to what would happen to me if I started spilling some of those stories about Alex. When I first met Alex, it became clear to me that she was a woman of many attributes: beauty, brains, wisdom, and a sense of humor. She also had a high tolerance for patience, and she kept calm while Jake and I carried on with our antics over the years. I remember when Alex first came into the picture. We were at a Sarnia party, and Jake had asked her out on a date. She didn't quite believe him at first, but then Jake grabbed her and planted one on her right before we left that night. The thought of kissing that mustache kid with beer breath and pizza sauce smeared across his face doesn't really sound too appetizing to me, but it was enough to win her heart. He took you on your first date to Bad Dog. Afterwards, he tells me, "Dude, she's the one. She's perfect." I go, "How do you know so quick?" He goes, She ordered wings. Sorry, Alex. You were that girl that didn't order salad and a water, and Jake praised you for that. I knew from that moment on this day would come. You became the center of Jake's attention. He made me leave a beer pong tournament early with him so he could officially ask you to be his girlfriend while you were in Tennessee over FaceTime. Lucky me, got to lay in the bed across the room from you, listening to you two flirt while I reevaluated my decision of leaving the party early. After that, the rest was history. Jake's been walking around with that same stupid, goofy look that he's got on his face today, right now, since then. And I can see why. Jake scored big time. I had no idea when it was going to happen, but Abby, Eliza, and I had been betting on it for many years when it was going to happen. All of a sudden, one day, I receive a text. He goes, "I got to tell you something." I go, "Okay, what's up?" The bubbles are popping up on my phone as my phone lays on the counter. I'm at home shirtless, standing in front of the microwave, salivating over a leftover pile of Foodland chicken that I'm heating up, wondering if it's serious or not. He tells me he's proposing. I did not see that one coming. I was excited for him, but also concerned for myself at the same time. My best friend was about to start the next chapter of his life, and I was at home, single, heating up chicken, which was the best part of my week. I've never been more proud of him, and I had no doubt in my mind that she would say yes. In fact, Alex has become one of the best friends that I've gained over the years as well, and today she became my sister. Today turned out to be perfect, or picture perfect. The weather was cooperative, although at sometimes when I was in the sun, I knew how Chewbacca felt when he was shooting all those desert scenes. The ceremony and the reception have been flawlessly executed. Everybody did great. And I'm sure everybody that's gathered here today enjoying this celebration, and they're proud to be here as part of this milestone in your life. Thank you, Jake and Alex, for letting us be a part of your big band. I got a few thank yous to dish out on behalf of the bride and groom. I know Jake's eager to get out there on that dance floor and unleash those hip-hop moves that he learned in those classes 15 years ago. Please give him room when he starts doing the coffee grinder. He's rusty. First off, I'd like to thank all you guys for coming again, for battling through listening to my voice for this long. I appreciate it. Thank you. Second, I'd like to thank the bridesmaids for everything that you guys have done to help make today wonderful. You guys are looking beautiful as well. You ladies have given Alex all the love and support she needs today on her big day, and I know she was happy to have you up there by her side. Next, I'd like to thank the groomsmen. Thank you guys for coming here today and being on time and having our guys back. You all cleaned up well, and thank you, Dan, for staying awake this far. And I'd also like to recognize some special people in the crowd. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. And that would be Tim and Deb Hicks. John and Pam Dobson. To all of you, thanks for making today happen. I know you guys have worked hard all the way from raising two of the greatest people that I know to working through the entire wedding planning, which resulted in this beautiful event. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Steve and Lori Fisher for opening their beautiful home and providing a venue for Jake and Alex's marriage today. Thank you for all the hard work and organizing you have done to make this day perfect. Steve and Lori have also asked me that you guys refrain from standing on the tables and chairs for my standing ovation for insurance purposes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please raise your glasses and join me in a toast to the happy couple. To all the days from here and after, may they be filled with fond memories, happiness, and laughter. To the bride and the groom.